Good day to you, dear brothers and sisters. Thank you for tapping again in this video into the channel. I'm Sagi Cohen. Today I would like to address something that disturbs, is in the field of everyone, almost everyone, rage, anger, and how this is being triggered by another person, sometimes by a total foreigner. This is a question that a friend of mine posed. He asked me to make a video and to speak about that. How come we get triggered by other people? Sometimes total strangers, sometimes things that they don't even do directly towards us. And that trigger balls us up inside of us and brings out hatred, anger, frustration, the side of us that we don't appreciate actually about ourselves. And that's exactly the key. Another person triggers inside of us something that we don't really appreciate about ourselves. This is why this is happening. Every person outside is a mirror to ourselves, is a mirror to our behavior, is a mirror to our set of understandings, how we go about understanding life, how we go about judging ourselves and therefore judging everything around us. So it is those people that mirror that part inside of us that we don't like, that part inside of us that we disagree with, or just that part of disagreement. A person does something, a person says something. It might not even be towards me, towards our person, towards who we are. It can be just his general behavior right at the moment. And this will trigger a judgment inside of me. And that judgment will trigger a reaction. And that reaction I will be able to play upon, I will be able to speak it out loud, I will be able to do something, or I will be just maybe keeping it to myself. Nevertheless, that judgment triggered something inside of me that dislikes. And that's these two oppositions that holds our sphere of emotion, like and dislike, pleasure and suffering. What I want to draw more into my life and what I want to reject. And we go about our entire life figuring this out. And again making the adjustments. Because things change, right? Today I might like this, tomorrow I might not like that. So we constantly go about figuring out what is it that gives me pleasure and what is it that I need to repel, that I want to repel, that I don't want in my sphere, in my space, in my vicinity, in my life. And because we are constantly going in between this, like and dislike, that is being projected to us from the reality. The reality is there to test what we want. The reality is there to give us what we want and to ask us, do you want that? Do you not want that? It makes us stand behind our set of beliefs, our belief system. If I have an internal belief system that I like this and that I don't like that, the reality will reflect that and will ask me, are you sure? Because if you do, act upon it. And if you don't, it's time for you to ask yourself again that question. and make again that adjustment. Is it something that I really want? Is it something that I really like? Or is it something that I don't like? And then I make the configuration inside myself. This is what Sadhguru is calling inner engineering. I learn about my own sets of belief system and how it inhibits me, how it is expanding me. And I make the inner adjustments, and then I come out again to the world, to the experience. So, what can we do when a person irritates us, that we get triggered by another person, and that trigger causes us frustration and anger and even hatred? First of all, is take a deep breath, right? If you've been following my channel, you know that this is always the go-to thing. That's the key element in life, is breath. And that's the one thing that doesn't cost money, and that we can do everywhere, and that we're actually doing everywhere and every time. So how about just making it more conscious? And taking that deep conscious breath, anchoring myself, my being, into the present moment, anchoring my soul, my awareness into this body, that experience. And by that, I'm allowing myself to navigate the next thing, the next moment, which means my reaction. So instead of jumping and reacting like from a survival place, I take a moment and I breathe in. I release the breath and anchor myself down. And at that moment, I have a choice. What do I want to do? How do I want to react? Do I want to react at all? My suggestion will be, at that moment, remind yourself that that person that apparently irritates you, that person is there reflecting. That person is there serving you on your purpose, on your life mission, on your way of understanding, on your path of understanding who you are. He is there, or she is there, to reflect you, what you're feeling inside of you about your own set of understandings. How you realize and you perceive the world. He's just there, she's just there, reflecting it back to you. And that person gives you a gift by showing you, look, here is something that you don't like. Here is something that you have a hard time coping with. Here is something that you don't want to see, that you don't want to look at. You want to avoid, you want to reject, you want to go away from. You don't want that in your vicinity. Therefore, it irritates you, it annoys you, it angers you, it frustrates you. So this is just a mirror for you to realize that. And then you always have the choice to continue with that, therefore rejecting it, saying, I don't want that, that's not mine, whatever bullshit you want to sell yourself in that moment, it's okay. It's really okay. Just know that you are bullshitting yourself. Because life is always about expansion. It's always asking you to expand. It's always provoking you to go beyond your own limitations. And this is exactly the moments where your limitations are being projected back at you. The moments that you are frustrated, anger. This is like showing you, whoa, this is the limit of who you are. Now, do you want to expand beyond that limit? That's the real question hiding underneath. Because you can choose, no, I have done enough development for this week, for this day, for the rest of my life. I'm done with expansion. Or you can say, right, here is where my boundaries are. Here is where I define who I am and what is right and wrong for me. Do I keep on agreeing with that statement of this is right, this is wrong, this is pleasant, this is unpleasant? If I'm good with that, continue the rest of your day, and you don't need to worry about that guy anymore projecting to you your own limitations, right? Because you've set peace with it. This is who I am, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. That guy just remind me what I don't like, and that's good. Thank you for your reminder, and I continue. That's an option. Another one will be, wait a second, I recognize now my own limitation through that person annoying me, through that person aggravating me. And now I have the chance to continue on my evolutionary path, to find a way and the skill to turn that frustration into joy. To go beyond my own limitations, beyond my dislikes and likes, and expand myself, become more. Taking that dislike, that whatever that person did, which makes me dislike, taking that and flipping it to the positive side of it, to the light, to the I can also like that. I don't have to be like that. I don't have to act like that person. I don't have to speak like that person. But I can approve of that. I can say, okay, that exists in the world. And that's okay. That's an expression of the world. Annoyance is an expression. Anger is an expression. Frustration is an expression. And those expressions are valid. And they are needed in our daily life. Much like darkness is needed outside, right? We don't stop the day once the sun sets and we say, that's it. The good part of the day is gone. Nighttime is here, which means it's bad, it's dislike. I gotta get away from that. We don't really do that. Maybe we pretend that we do it when we make artificial lights in the house and keep ourselves busy. But actually we understand already in the core of who we are that there's nothing wrong with nighttime, with darkness. There's nothing wrong with frustration. There's nothing wrong with anger. There's nothing wrong with even hatred. It's just showing me that I have a set of emotions that I can play with, that I can call upon, that moves me. And the master moves his feelings. The master is mastering his or her own emotions, rather being moved by the emotions. So just that it. Whenever something happens and you get a chance to continue on your path of enlightenment, development, you get a chance to just master your own life. That's as simple as it is. Each person that aggravates you, much like each person that makes you laugh, is there to mirror your own sets of belief system, your own skills, your own boundaries, and ask you, are you fine with that? If yes, move on to the next thing. If no, then do something about it. Find a way, and there are many, many tools to change your perspective and to like something that you disliked just a moment ago. Or just to be fine with something that is happening that you dislike. Just to be fine with that, right? Just like when the lion is catching the gazelle in the safari. The gazelle doesn't like it, maybe. There might be a person that doesn't like that something like this happens in the world. But this is right now what nature is. And in order to move beyond something, we first have to accept it. In order to move beyond that somebody who irritates me, first I have to accept the fact that I am irritated and that there are irritating people. Just accept. Just accept and know that they have a part in this life much as you and me. They have the right to be on this earth much like I have the right, much like you have the right. Much like the gazelle has the right to be here on earth, so does the lion. This is how we move beyond. It doesn't mean we have to become that part of the lion that goes and chases down the gazelle. But we can appreciate that part, right? We can appreciate that power. We can appreciate that commitment. And know that we have moved beyond. That's the master. The master acknowledges, accepts, appreciates, and continues to move beyond. So that's it, my friend. Thank you for listening, and continue to move beyond.